I usually don't scour the fabrics that I use for textile dyeing. In fact, it's probably been more than a year since I've done so. But it is something that I would like to do more of as it relates to certain projects and experimentations. So in this video, I'll be showing you how I make soda ash, which is used to scour fabrics. And then I want to see if I can use this to remove color from some fabric pieces I've already dyed. So for this process, I'll just be using one of my cast iron skillets and regular old baking soda, also known as sodium bicarbonate. And if I had to say how much this is, I didn't really measure it, but I would guess that it's about 2.5 to 3 cups. I read somewhere that you can tell that your baking soda has turned into soda ash when it leaves residue on the spoon. So prior to putting this in the oven and heating it up, the baking soda doesn't really stick to the spoon. And as you can see here, this is probably 30 minutes into baking it in the oven, it's sticking to the spoon. So I could probably take it out at this point, but I left it for a few more minutes. And then right here, we're just kind of playing around with it to see the texture. My understanding of how this works is that when baking soda is heated to a temperature above about 180, I believe, maybe a little bit lower than that, in the 170s, it gives off, well, basically it's broken down into two components, and one of those is carbon dioxide, and it is through that process that it becomes soda ash. Soda ash can be purchased commercially, but since it's pretty simple, I typically make it myself when I do make it. And I've also read that you can scour fabric without this. Some people just use natural detergents, dish soap, or laundry detergent. I have this huge stainless steel pot that I use for dyeing textiles in turmeric. And when I do scour fabric, I like to use this one as well. So I was just cleaning some of the dye out. Those turmeric stains won't wipe out so easily though. Well, that was pretty much it for making the soda ash. It's very simple. And what I would like to experiment with is scouring fabrics that I've already dyed. Some of these pieces are more than a year old. And I wanted to see if I boil them with laundry detergent and the soda ash, would the color come out? I like to repurpose fabrics. I mostly just do experimentations when it comes to plant dyes. So I'm just, I just source fabrics from wherever I can, my cellulose fibers that I use. And when I'm able to, I like to reuse them. So I was wondering, if I boil these, if I scour the pieces, will the color come out? And if they don't, I guess that's a testament to how well the dyes took. But I'm hoping to get a few pieces, to reclaim a few pieces to use for other dyeing projects. So we'll see how it goes. Through a little bit of research, I learned that the effectiveness of soda ash in scouring fabric is due to its high alkalinity and its affinity for removing oils and dirts, whereas baking soda is not as alkaline as soda ash and is more suitable for cleaning mineral deposits such as rust and things of that nature. So in terms of how this works or why soda ash is used in this process, it has to do with its natural affinity for removing oils and dirt, which is what people are trying to do typically when they're scouring textiles to be used for natural dyeing. I'm basically just being a little bit rogue and doing something different with my process. At this point, the water is not being heated, it's not being boiled, but you can see the color of the water already at this point. So I let this go for about an hour, and then I'm going to remove the fabrics. At some point, I just realized all of this color is not going to come out, so I'm not going to keep using electricity to experiment with this. I was happy to get a few pieces like this one here that had a lot of the plant dye removed. That one's still holding on to some of the color. But in general, I had a few pieces that I can reuse for other projects. After the first boiling, these pieces could have been boiled one or two more times, maybe until the water ran clear, but I figured that would take much more time and energy than it was worth for what I need to do. So I just boiled it once, and I did put it in the washing machine with no laundry detergent for a quick wash using hot water. The purpose of scouring fabric is to remove dirt, buildup, oils that may be present in certain textiles. That's not something I encounter a lot with the pieces of cellulose fibers that I use, textiles that I use. So this scouring process isn't necessarily, I don't feel that it's always relevant to the work that I'm doing. Someone who's very experienced in the world of natural dyes wrote a book, and in that book, she mentions that she doesn't scour fabrics, and in fact, she thinks that there could be some benefits to the oils or whatever other elements are found in fabric, so she doesn't go through the process of cleaning it and removing anything from it. I'm wondering, what's your experience with scouring fabrics? And if you do use soda ash in the process, do you make it yourself? Hopefully you found this information useful in some way. Thanks for watching.